Welcome to Board Gaming with Austin. Today I'm going to be providing you a detailed step-by-step rules video on the board game Squire-Collectors Club. It's by the company Roast and Toast Games. Plays in uh, 2 to 4 players, and it's 40 to 60 minutes. Another game I reviewed by them is Skytopia, which I really enjoyed, so I was glad when I came to this game, and I really enjoyed it as well. This is strictly the rules video, so I'm going to get straight to the point. I created a script so I don't make you guys wait while I stutter. So let me just flip right to that. Alrighty. So before you get started with this game, you're going to want to set up the market. So I do step-by-step of the rules book, but I kind of clarify and restructure some stuff to make it easier for you getting started in the game. But you can use this video to literally start your game and do the entire game. You don't need the rule book whatsoever for these types of videos. This is your market. It's gonna come as a ton of these brown pieces, looking like that. Okay, I'm actually going to do this so that you can see it and I can help you get it set up. I'm not going to take it apart though. So this piece with the numbers on it are going to come with 2 flaps out here. Those 2 flaps, and I hope you can see this. If not, I'll try to explain it with the words as best as I can. You're going to flip those flaps down and you're going to have the numbers facing up here. Now you're going to want to pay attention right off the bat with every single piece. Every single piece is going to have a skinny end on one side, which is going to be on the bottom, and a wider end on the other side, which are all going to be up top. Now, when you're putting this together, you're going to take that center piece and fold all the pieces down like that. Then you're going to take this really wide piece right there in the center. I hope you see it. And you're going to you're going to fold the edges of them. They have these little like nubs on each end. You're going to fold those down. Actually, yeah, it's folding them down. So you're going to have the fancy side of that piece up. You're going to fold them down under it, and you're going to slide them through the little slats on that middle piece that I just pointed out to. This piece, you're going to slide them between those slats. And then you're going to make sure that you have there's going to be one side that's a little longer than the other. And you're going to make sure you want to have that slid in right. So pretty much once you put this piece in this piece, you're going to make sure that one side is not longer than the other. Make sure that they line up perfectly with these edges. And if they don't, then you're going to want to take them out and put them back in, because then you're going to take these edges and put them on that piece. And then you're going to want to take these long pieces and slide them up onto it. And those little nubs from the centerpiece that I told you about are going to fit and connect into this. And you kind of like push them back up without breaking them. Okay, anyway, sorry guys, that's the market right there. The market on the left side of it has a treasure chest with gold in it, symbolizing rarities, and I kind of mentioned that later as well. But so you want to randomize that at the very beginning before you find out what all these tiles are and whatnot. You're going to want to randomize this over here and place it here in the market space. Then you're going to want to take every one of these wooden pieces, and you're going to want to get the little sticker sheet that they give you and so you're going to want to match the color of the sticker to the color of the wooden space. Then on each side of that wooden piece, you're going to put the same sticker. So this red one, I put a red rose on both sides of it. And then this red one, I put the red picture frame on both sides of it. You're going to do that. You're going to color match the stickers to the pegs. And at the end, you're going to have one color to each rarity and then one color to each region. And the rarities go on the left side, the regions go on the right side. Then you're going to take all the little pieces and for the standees and put the standees together. They slide up like that. And then this is going to be the exhibition token, which is actually a standee as well. Then I'm going to start reading. Then you're going to start doing the game setup. Do that first because it kind of makes things easier later. Game setup. Choose which side of the board you'll be playing on. The side doesn't matter too much, but the game recommends the British Isles for your first game. This right here is the the world side, with all the different countries in it. Not necessarily countries you know, but most of the countries. Okay, step 2. For a 2-player game, you remove 16 of these rarity tiles from the supply of rarities. Then you mix up the remaining ones and set one tile face down on each square on the table. And you're going to do this all randomly, but as you're choosing them, you can put them on the board like this. The rest of the tiles that you don't place on the board because you want to fill every square, they go in a pool alongside the board, which is over there. Then you're going to place all the coins, regular coins and royal coins, next to the board in a pool. So I have the royal coins here and all the regular coins over here. Step 4, you're going to place the regular and royal tickets in a pool next to the board as well. So I have the white common tickets and the blue royal tickets. Step 5, you want to shuffle the correspondence cards and place them in a stack face down on their spot of the board right here. So remember, I'm setting up the game right now. I changed up the directions to make it easier because I'll set up the player next. Then you place the market in its spot on the board over here. The pegs go on the market in any random order to begin the game before you place these face up like this, as I mentioned earlier. All right, now we do a player setup. Everyone grabs 10 coins from the supply and keeps 10 coins. Regular common coins, not royal coins. No one begins the game with royal coins. They grab 1 royal ticket each, and you grab 1 correspondence card each to begin the game. And then everyone chooses a player board and the desired side matching the character that you want to play as. Character over here. All right, so now I'm going to explain the different abilities on each side of the board because the character's abilities matter. Here's these, and then excuse me while I grab the rest of them. The different player boards each have a character on each side of them, and I think the abilities are the exact same, but I'll show you. You have the foxes, the lions, the badgers, and the eagles. The foxes' abilities get an additional 5 common coins, not royal coins, at the start of the game. You want to do that immediately. Yep, they're all the same on both sides of the board. So the female fox and the male fox are the exact same ability, and the same with every other player board. So now, the lion says, at the start of the game, you may run an errand for the queen mentioned on the card that you have. So you may immediately put the card that you begin the game with, the correspondence card, under the bottom of your player board to run the errand for the queen. And I'll explain that later, more about that later. But and actually, I want to begin by saying you're only allowed to have the number of correspondence cards under your board matching the blue vases. No, sorry, the green sculptures in your gallery +1. And I'll hopefully get more to that later. But now we're on to the Eagles. The Eagles say, get an additional ticket, common ticket, not royal ticket, at the start of the game. Should we begin with one of these and a royal ticket? And then the Badger says, draw cards up to your hand limit each time you sell a rarity. So your hand limit increases based on the number of blue vases that you have in your gallery. Everyone begins the game and has a hand limit of 1 more than that. So if you have no vases in here, your hand limit's 1. If you have 1 vase, It's one vase plus one, so 2 hand limit. It's always one more than the number of vases you have in your gallery. All right, so that's that. Then you choose your standee. Next, you choose the standee matching the player board that you chose. So if you chose this female badger, you're going to choose the female badger standee. Randomly choose the first player. Their opponent in a 2-player game, or the player to the right of them, gets the exhibition token. So if I'm first player, they're going to get the exhibition token, which means that at the end of their turn, they get to do the exhibition. All right, so then now you begin the game. All right, so the game takes place in rounds. Every turn has at least 4 steps. There's a 5th step that takes place for the person holding that exhibition token standee. After the player holding that standee holds an exhibition, the standee is then passed counterclockwise around the board. Or in a 2-player game, actually there's special rules for that, and I'll explain that later. But goes counterclockwise if there's more than 2 players. Play begins with the player 1 and goes clockwise. So step 1, there's 4 to 5 steps. Step 1 is move, which is required. Step 2 is buy or sell, which is required as well. Step 3 is update the market and refill the map space, which is required. Step 4 is place your new rarity in your gallery. That's if you purchased one. If you sold one, you discard the rarity. Step 5 is hold an exhibition, which is only for the person holding that exhibition standee. And that's regardless of 2 players or more. If you're holding the exhibition standing, you'll be doing the exhibition at the end of your turn because of the way they have you do it for 2 players past the standee. Okay, so now we're going to go into depth on each step. Step 1 is move. On your first turn, you begin anywhere on the map that you want. Here, let's just fill these really fast so that you actually see what the board would look like. I don't know, just like randomize it a little bit more, but it would be, chosen blindly, like I'm kind of trying to do. Okay, you want to start anywhere on the board. I look at my correspondence card that I'll have, see if there's anything there to do. It says hold an exhibition on gold ring, so I'll go over here. I'll start here. All right, so you must move 1 space per ticket you have. You can't stay or do anything in the city that you begin that turn on. You can only buy or sell in the final city that you land on. So once you move, if you move more than 1 space, you can only buy or sell on the city that you land on. You can end your turn in the same city as another person. That's a very important rule. You can have more than 1 person in the same city. You can only move between cities that are connected with lines. The lines going off the side of the board connect to the city horizontally across the map. So this line over here, I don't know what the words are or what that means really, to be honest. But this line goes across the map and connects to this. So you can go this way and go to this city. But when you're going to other cities, it has to be connected by a line. All right. As you move, and then this line connects to that city. As you move, each city must be paid for with 1 ticket per move. Common tickets and royal tickets are both only 1 space of movement, but after you use white common tickets, they must be returned to the pool, the supply, and you discard it. But the blue royal tickets you actually keep for future use. Step 2, you buy or sell 1 rarity. You must buy or sell 1 rarity on the city you end your turn on. You only buy and sell tiles from the game board. You don't buy or sell from anyone else. As you buy and sell rarities on the map, new region rarity combos will be formed. You'll know the price of these combinations by looking at the market at time of purchase or sale. The left side is for rarities, symbolized by a chest filled with gold, and the region is symbolized on the right by a compass. So when you buy or sell this, earlier like I explained, you have the price combinations, and as you buy or sell this, it removes it, and you create a new color combination of orange to blue. This was blue to purple, and then this is going to be changing up as well. The left side of this is rarities, the right side is region. The cost is the number next to the color of the region you're in, plus the number next to the color of the rarity you're buying. And I gave you an example of that earlier. So this is a blue region. So you go to the blue region, which is 2, and it's a purple rarity, which is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. And if you're buying that, those pegs are going to the top. If you're selling it, those pegs are going to the very bottom. Alrighty. So if you buy a rarity, it's going to be placed into your gallery, which I'll later. It's a future step. If you sell a rarity, you get the value of the rarity from the bank. And if you buy it, you pay the bank. But if you sell it, you get the value of the rarity from the bank, and you discard it from play in a separate discard pile. And no one can use that tile again except for one situation related to your player board, which I'll explain later. All common coins that were used to purchase a rarity are returned to the bank. All royal tokens that you used, you keep in your supply for later use, just like royal tickets. So step 3 is update the market. The market over here. I already have said this many times, but I'll say it again on this step. When buying a good, you move the region and the region and the rarity marker to the top of the market, like this. Those types are now more expensive. And when you're selling, you move the region and rarity combinations of the area you're at to the bottom, making it cheaper in the future. Step 4, place your new rarity in your gallery and refill the map space. So if you had bought this, you would be purchasing it, putting it in your gallery, which I'll explain the steps of, and you would refill this market with a new random tile. These are all supposed to be face down over here in the pool, and you're blindly placing them. But all rarities have a victory point amount on them in the top left in the white square. As you buy rarities, you can place them on any spot in your gallery. The spot does not matter, and you don't need to start on a specific spot. So literally, you can start on top left, bottom right, literally anywhere. It doesn't matter. Nothing on the board matters about where you put it first. Might seem a little weird because you think you're going to get like the best benefits first, but it's not necessarily work that way. So this is where I'll explain the board. So the board has what's called hall bonuses and floor bonuses. So over here you have the picture of your character and its special ability you start with. There's 12 squares that you're going to be filling throughout the game. Once these squares are completely filled, all you have available to you is to sell. You can no longer buy rarities because you have nowhere to put them. These rarities are going to go into these spots. As you place it on a new spot, if that spot has a bonus or if it shows something inside of it, 1 ticket, 2 gold, 2 gold, 1 ticket, 2 gold, and 1 ticket. When you filled that space, you get that bonus. That's called a hall bonus. You get it immediately. Once you fill a row horizontally, all 4 spaces are filled. You look to the right and see if there's a floor bonus. So all 4 of these have to be filled to get this floor bonus. It says you may take 1 rarity from the discards and add it to your gallery. That's the only situation where you can pull from the side discard tile pile. From when people are selling tiles, they go into the discard pile over there, and you can pull 1 once you meet all of this and place it into your gallery anywhere. When you complete this floor, it says your hand limit now gains 2. So normally at the very beginning of the game, it's 1. If you filled that, it's plus 2, so 3. And then if you have more of the blue vases, then your hand limit increases. Then if you fill this floor column floor, 1, 2, 3, you get this bonus, which is a rare, a royal ticket. If you fill this, you get a royal coin. And if you fill this horizontal floor, you get nothing. And if you fill these columns, you get nothing because they already have a lot of bonuses right away. Alrighty, so once you place a rarity on your gallery, it can't be moved, sold, or discarded. Step 5 is you hold an exhibition. If you have the exhibition token, you must hold an exhibition. The exhibition token is passed clockwise, but like I said earlier, there's unique rules for passing it in a 2-player game. And then this is actually the explanation for that. So let's say I begin the game. I did my turn. That person began their turn with the exhibition token. At the end of their first turn, in this situation, they would place this exhibition token onto the board next to the rarity that they're running an exhibition for. You can't do it for books. So they would place it on the board here, and you have to run an exhibition. Then, at the end of their turn, this stays on the board here for a 2-player game only. At the end of my turn, my next turn, so my second turn in this situation, I would grab that token and I would not do my exhibition that turn. Then it goes to the next player. They run through their whole turn, and then I run through my third turn. At the end of my third turn, I run the exhibition, and it goes on the board. And then they go through their turn. They take the token. I go through my turn. They go through their turn. They do the exhibition. So basically, after your first turn, you're doing an exhibition every other one of your turns. So let's see. You run the exhibition. They go. They take the exhibition. You go. They go. You go. So every 3 turns, I think, actually, you're getting the ticket, getting to do an exhibition. Because you run the exhibition, and then you skip a turn, and then every other turn or 2. But anyway, that's how that works. It's going from you to the board, and then from the board to them, and then from them to the board, and then from the board to you, and then from you to the board. Whereas with more than 2 players, it goes like this. At the end of every round, you run an exhibition, and then the next person immediately takes it, and they do their exhibition on the following round immediately on their next turn. Alrighty, so now I want to show you the chart right here up closer. Hopefully you can see it. This is how you hold an exhibition. So you hold an exhibition. You may hold any exhibition even if you don't have that rarity in your gallery. That's why the first column of the chart gives you a bonus either way, regardless of having anything in your gallery. The second column benefits the other players, and only if they have that rarity in their gallery. So let me show you real quick, kind of explain this a little better. The exhibitor on the far left gets, for a ring exhibition, you get 2 gold plus an additional 1 gold for each ring in your gallery. So you get a bonus plus more if you have the rings. For a vase exhibition, you draw cards up to your hand limit. So you can get more cards in your hand this way, and you can get more cards in your hand from the board. No, actually, this is about the only way you can get more cards in your hand. With a painting exhibition, you get 1 ticket plus an additional ticket for each paint exhibition or each painting in your gallery. For a sculpture exhibition, you can run 1 errand from the queen. And the amount of errands that you can run is limited by how many sculptures you have in your gallery. And your hand limit is limited by how many vases you have in your gallery. So you can't run an exhibition for books. Now I'm going to explain to you running an exhibition and the other player gets benefits. So with this, the other player, if someone ran a ring exhibition, all the other players get 2 gold if they have a ring in their gallery. If someone ran an exhibition all other players except for the exhibitor draws, and if they ran a vase expedition, all the other players draw cards if they have vases in their gallery. If they don't have any vases, they don't get this benefit. And it says if possible. So if you have your hand limit reached, then you can't get it. If the exhibitor runs a painting exhibition, then all the other players get tickets. If one ticket for it just says get one ticket if you have paintings in your gallery. It doesn't say one ticket per painting, whereas the gold does. Oh no, yeah, the gold says you only get 2 gold if you have a ring in your gallery. So you don't like benefit multiple times like the exhibitor. And the sculptor exhibitor, all other players may discard a started errand from the queen and run another one if they have vases in their gallery. So now, what does it mean to run an errand? You're going to have these correspondence cards. And these correspondence cards are going to have interesting offers on them, which is the top half of the card, and they're going to have errand from the queen, which is the bottom half of the card. The top half of the card is a benefit that you get immediately as soon as you fulfill the requirements. So this card right here says get 3 gold if you have or sell, if you have bought or sold a rarity in the purple region. As soon as you fulfill that requirement, you can cash in on that card. Now, you can actually cash in on cards, multiple cards in the exact same turn, and you'll get a situation where you can actually have the same cards in the same turn. And you actually cash in on all of those. And then the bottom half is errand from the queen. You can only play these errands from the queen if you do sculpture exhibitions. Sculpture exhibitions allow you to run 1 errand for the queen, and it allows other players to discard errands that they already started and start a new one. So when you do that, you listen to the bottom half of the card. You forego the top half of the card. You can only do either or. You do the bottom half of the card, and you actually place it under your player board. This I'm showing you with the player board here. You would place it under your player board like that. And then it stays down there, and you count the VPs at the end of the game. So it says errand from the queen. This one gives you an additional 1 victory point for every 5 gold, and 1 victory point for every royal coin that you have. Now don't forget, the number of errands that you can run, which means the number of cards that you can have under your board like that, is limited by how many sculptures you have in your gallery. You get 1 errand that you can place under your board, 1 more than the number of sculptures in your gallery. So if you begin with 0, so you can only have 1 under your board. If you end the game with 4, then you can have a total of 5 errands under your board. And then the number of cards in your hand, which kind of limits how many errands you can ever end up running, is 1 more than the number of vases in your gallery. Okay, and then remember, so some of the cards, some of these benefits, interesting offers, you'll be able to suffice in the middle of you or someone else running an exhibition. You can't do that. If you start an exhibition, you have to completely fulfill the entire exhibition before you can get the interesting offer. And then, if that benefit is no longer there, or you no longer have the ability to complete your interesting offer, you don't complete the interesting offer. Yeah. Alrighty. So, the end of the game. This is finally the end of the rules video. The end of the game is triggered when the supply of your rarities off in the pool off over here have all been placed on the board. As soon as the last one is placed onto the board, the player who placed it finishes their turn, and the game ends immediately. Then you want to count up all the points. So you add up the point value on your rarities, all the numbers on the rarities. You add up, and then you add that number to the point value of all the errands that you ran. So all the cards that are on the bottom of your player board, you calculate all those points up, and then you want to add all of those to this calculation for unspent tickets and coins. So add up all your unspent tickets and coins, divide that number by 5, and whatever that whole number is the number of victory points that you get. So if you have 25 unspent total coins and tickets, all common and royal tickets and coins count. If you have 25 of them, you divide that by 5, you get 5 victory points. If it's 26 and you divide it by 5, it's 5 point something. That's 5 victory points. I hope I explained everything about this game. On the other side of this card is your player aid as well. And it's really good. You just have to remember that you have to refill the board as you're emptying spaces and putting new pieces down. Alrighty, thank you guys for listening through this video. I appreciate it. Have a good day, and I do recommend this game, so get it.